Hello everyone, this is Indrajit Ganguly and I wish all of you are fit and fine, staying safe at home and doing your studies at regular interval. Dear students, last year in class 8, we dealt with different aspects of Indian history, Indian geography and Indian politics. Correct? But in class 9, the syllabus of social science is slightly different compared to class 8. Because in class 9, the syllabus of social science will completely change your mindset. And you will aware of lots of interesting things which will change your mindset and you will definitely find interest on these subjects. And I personally believe that the study of social science will enrich your general knowledge and you will definitely find lots of interesting things and lots of attractive things which you would implement in your daily life. In class 9, you will interact with some of interesting events which took place in the world history. We will understand the physical features of India in class 9. Remember students, in class 8, you know about the political features of India, correct? But in class 8, we will saw the political features of India as well as the political aspects of the different parts of the world, and you will compare which one is best, which one is better, correct? And finally, there was an introduction of a new subject for you, which is economics. So hopefully the journey of class 9 will be very interesting, and remember students, you will not be bored in social science in class 9. It is my personal belief. Students, today I am starting with the first chapter of history, that is French Revolution. In this chapter, you will understand what is French Revolution, what were the reasons behind it, what were the consequences of the French Revolution, and finally, what we learned from this historic event. But before going into the discussion and before elaboration of the chapter, please remember the date which is visible on your screen, that is 14 July 1789. Because on that day, the French Revolution took place on the year 14 July 1789 in France. So our first chapter is dealing with the history of France, and I think you know that France is situated in Europe country. So the history of class 9 is basically about world history, and the world history, the modern days of world history was started with the incident called French Revolution. Okay, now students, you can understand that a revolution could not take place suddenly. There are a series of events and series of incidents are there, right? But remember students, on 14 July 1789, French Revolution took place in France just because of the storming of the Bastille fort. Because large number of French people, they attacked the Bastille fort and they was depressed with the French monarchy. So that's why they attacked the Bastille fort, and in this way the French Revolution took place. But this is not only the reason, and this is not the only incident which was responsible behind the French Revolution. As you remember, in class 8, you read about the story of revolt of 1857, correct? And you saw that the revolt of 1857, or we can say the Sepoy mutiny, took place because of the immediate cause which was known as Enfield rifle. Remember students, trying to remember the story of Enfield rifle. The rifle which is greased with cow and pig fat. right? So Hindu and Muslim soldiers refused to touch it and they revolted against the British government. This became the immediate cause of the revolt of 1857. Correct? But this is not the only reason behind the revolt of 1857. As you remember, there are a series of political, social, military and economic reasons are there. So when we are considering about a revolution, so we can say that a revolution could not took place with one incident or with one reason. There are series of events and incidents and reason behind it. But French Revolution took place after the storming of the Bastille Fort incident. Dear students, in the first chapter of history, we are discussing about the story of France, and that is the story of France in 18th century. Now you can ask me, sir, what is 18th century? Then I can tell you, from 1701 to 1800, these 100-year period is known as 18th century. I am repeating once again, from 1701 to 1800, these 100-year period is basically considered as the 18th century. And France was in this period, France was under the monarchical government. Okay, France was under the monarchical government. I think you know that monarchy is a form of government which is ruled by a king or queen. Here, a king or queen is a hereditary ruler. Okay, election was generally not took place in this type of government. So France was in the monarchical form of government, was under the monarchical form of government, and the dynasty which is ruled over France in 18th century was known as the Bourbon dynasty. Name Bourbon dynasty. B-O-U-R-B-O-N. Bourbon dynasty. Very important for short question. And during the time of the French Revolution, King Louis XVI was the ruler of France. What was his name? Louis XVI. L-O-U-I-S 16. 16 in Roman. So the common people of France, they were not happy under the rule of Louis XVI. On the morning of 14 July, the city of Paris was in a state of alarm. The king, Louis XVI, had commanded troops to move into the city. Remember, student, there were rumors that king would soon order French army to open fire upon the citizen. It is just a rumor. The common people, they have a fear that the king would suddenly order the French army to fire the common people. It is just like a rumor that was just before the revolt of 1857 in India, because the cartridges were greased with cow and pig fat. So that was a rumor before the revolt of 1857, and before the French Revolution on 14 July 1789, there was a still rumor that king ordered the French troops to fire upon the French people. Some 7,000 men and women gathered in front of the town hall against the French monarchy. You will be surprised to know that a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of the city and stormed the fortress called Bastille. On your screen, you can see this is the picture that the common people of France stormed Bastille. Remember, student, Bastille was situated in Paris, and Paris is the capital city of France. And Bastille was full of guns, ammunition, and weapons. So the main objective, the main goal of the common people to capture the guns, ammunition, and weapons. Why did so? Because they wanted to revolt against the French monarchy. They could not support the ruler anymore. They wanted to dethrone the French ruler. That's why just after the news, just after the rumor, the 7,000 men, they basically attacked Bastille, and because they wanted to capture the guns and ammunition, because they wanted to fight against the French ruler. So on 14 July 1789, the rebellions captured the Bastille fort. They took all the guns, ammunition and weapons. All the prisoners were freed from the jail. So, and after that incident, all the rebellions, they destroyed, they demolished the Bastille. And 14 July 1789 became the event which was and became the important date, which was when the French Revolution took place. Remember students, in nowadays 14 July in France was celebrated as their national day, just like our 15th August and 26th January. But you could understand that only these reasons could not only responsible for this huge revolution. Correct? There are series of events and reasons are there to organize this glorious revolution. What are these? What was the political, social and economic condition of France before the revolution? These things will be discussed in detail in my next class. Thank you and have a nice day.